Hey, what's up guys? Grimsie42 here, and I've got week 6 for my continuing garage sales, and this week wasn't the most amazing week ever. I've done a lot better to say the least, but believe it or not, after garage selling, I went to a local thrift store and found a couple games, so kind of salvaged the week. The first thing, was actually not so much a garage sale game, but just a random gift. My neighbor, a few doors down, I went to a garage sale previous year, and she had one video game. She had Mario Kart for the Wii, and I told her that it was basically like that I was interested in games and wanted more if she ever had any. So she was older, and she said that her daughter had some stuff, and that she would contact me when she did. Well, little did I know that she was just going to knock on my door and give me free games. It's a Konami title. It's Frogger's Adventure 2 for the Game Boy Advance, so no complaints here. I'll definitely take a free game, so I was grateful to her for that. Now on to garage sales. The first item I actually grabbed from my Retron 5. I did not have an extra SD card, so for 50 cents I grabbed a 2 GB, which is more than enough to hold anything that I would ever need to put in there, because it's just for like save states and stuff, so thought that was a fair deal. The next stop, picked up 2 games, and these were $1 a piece. No issue with that. I'm actually a fan of poker, so for $1 I was okay picking this up. It is a copy of World Series of Poker Tournament of Champions, and I guess this is the 2007 edition. So now I can play some poker on my console. Thought that was pretty cool. This next one I actually played with a friend, and I do want to eventually get the big box version, but I don't want to pay a lot for it because I know this is not an expensive game, but it actually is really fun, if not tiring, and it is a copy of Flame Smash. And it's a very interesting, must have hair in there, icky. It's a very interesting theory, the game. So basically, with the Wiimote, you basically fling the mote and you shoot this like projectile ball guy into obstacles, and you have to like break all the obstacles to advance through the levels. So definitely an interesting game. These next 3 titles, I picked up all from one sale, and it was $5 for the 3. The first is a PS2 title, but actually before I show you these, I'll give you a little story behind it, because it actually worked out perfectly. It benefited my friend a little more because there was more stuff there that he wanted than I did, but I'm still happy with how this story worked out. So my buddy and I, we really try our best to not be early birds, and the only time we'll actually arrive to a sale, you know, unreasonably early, is if it's the first place we're going and we literally go from work. So we both work night shift, and when we get out of work, usually it's like a little too early for sales. So sometimes if it's a faraway sale that we're going to go to first, we'll drive and we'll just park and shoot the breeze until we see that they're set up. I never have and never will be the type that's going to go knock on doors or anything like that. I find that in bad form, and I don't care how good the deal is. Just to disrupt somebody's life to get a video game, it's just in bad taste, and I refuse to do it. But in this case, we had arrived a little early, and we saw the gentleman had, you know, pretty much set up, so we went over there, and I said, you know, hey sir, did you have any video games? And he said, yeah, they're still kind of buried, I'm still setting up, you know, so I'll grab them when I can. And I said, oh, you know, that's no problem. And I said, you know, why don't we help you? Because there was a few tables in the garage that he wanted to slide out, so I grabbed the first one with him, and my buddy grabbed the second one with him. And because we had helped him, a few resellers had shown up by this time, and they were all hunting for games also, and he specifically grabbed the box and handed them to me and said, you know, grab what you want before anyone else looks at it. And they were all butthurt and defeated, and it was just beautiful because they kind of looked over and they saw us grab anything that was worth grabbing, and then they kind of sulked their head and walked away. So it's an instant victory to stick it to the resellers. But I wound up grabbing 3 games, and nothing amazing, but like I said, I paid $5 for the 3. My buddy got some really good stuff though, but for me it was, first one is a PS2 title. It's Mercenaries Playground of Destruction, and it looks pretty interesting. I know they made multiple entries in this series, so must be good, so I'll definitely check that out. This next one is a Platinum Hits, which I'm not a huge fan of purchasing, but I hear the series is good, so I figured I'd check it out. It's part 1 to Saints Row. And last, and not sure if least or not, I purchased this for a specific reason. It's a year-old entry. They're already on 14, and 15 is coming out, so it's going to be 2 years old soon. But this specific entry had a special mode in it called the Attitude Era, which allowed you to, and just so you can figure it out now, it's WWE 13. You can play through when wrestling was big, in my opinion, which was like the 90s. So I thought that was really cool. There's almost 100 wrestlers to choose from in this, so I haven't really been a fan of wrestling since like 2004, 2005. Kind of like I said, when the Attitude Era ended and the PG era started, but definitely thought this was worth a look, so picked it up, and again, 3 for 5, wasn't killing me. The last item I have to show you guys, I want to say I paid $2 for this, and it works. I've tested it. There's actually batteries in it now. It is something I recommend you all keep your eyes open for. And I had first learned of how brutally expensive these were when I needed one for one of my college classes. Scientific calculators are very, very expensive, up to and over $100, and graphing calculators can be just as bad, if not worse. So anytime I see a graphing calculator or a scientific calculator, I definitely pick them up. And they all have little codes on them, like TI-83, TI-83 Plus. This specific one is a TI-84 Plus Silver Edition. And the higher the number, like 84, 85, the better the calculator. It just represents which model it is. And like I said, I picked this up for like $2, and I'm pretty sure these go for like 50 to 100 on eBay. So the 100 is obviously much higher end, and that would be with the box and the book and the cables and all that fun stuff. But for a functioning calculator, definitely worth $2, and I'll be able to trade this away and get some games that I want. So this is something I always keep my eyes open for, because it's how you can salvage a sale and find something that you may not necessarily want, but you know has value and that you know somebody else is looking for. That way you can get the games that you are looking for. But anyways, guys, this wasn't the best week ever, like I said, but afterwards we did stop at a thrift store, and I was able to pick up 3 games. Nothing super amazing, but these were all $2 each, so I actually think for $6 I got a pretty good score here. The first one is a loose Genesis game, and it's Mickey Mania: The Timeless Adventures of Mickey Mouse. So for $2, wasn't going to complain. Next is actually a Super Nintendo game, so that's really cool, and it is a copy of Pilot Wings. So you don't see Super Nintendo games at thrift stores very often, so I was happy with that. And last but certainly not least, I was really happy to get this, is a copy of Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3 for the Game Boy Advance. So totally awesome. Super happy to have, 3 more additions to the collection at thrift store prices. It definitely helped salvage the week there, because as you've seen, there weren't that many pickups, but I took what I could get, and there's hits and there's misses, so it is what it is, and I'm looking forward to next week. Hopefully I do a little better, but I'm more than content with what I got. And until next time, guys, take care.